Hey everyone, today I'm here with a review of set number 10278, the newest 2021 LEGO modular building. This modular building comes in at 2,923 parts, is the very first modular building to be in LEGO's new 18 plus line, and officially one of the first in the modular building collection, as per this new logo. This was a really fun build. It's got lots of great detailing, one of the largest modular buildings out there, and I'm so excited to show you some of the different features and functions of this set. Alright, so this is the modular building in a bit more detail. As you can see, everything is contained on one 32 by 32 base plate. This set comes with one main building and the two side buildings are attached. They're not two separate builds or anything like that like you saw with the pet shop or the bookstore. And there also came with a total of 5 Lego minifigures in this set. So for starters, this is what the front of the modular building looks like. Like I said, there are 5 minifigures, and the police station, which is of course the main build of this set, is right in the center. But first, we're going to start off with the news cart. So the news cart here, when you look at it from the start, you might think that it is part of the building. However, that is not the case at all. The news cart is actually just a little stand completely separate from the actual building. As you can see in here, there are some newspapers, 2 different models you can choose from, as well as some flowers. There's also the roof, which again has a picture of the news, so you can clearly see it is a newsstand. And then the roof here easily pops off, so the minifigure, the reporter, can go on the inside. As you can see, he fits in here quite nicely. It is, of course, a little cramped, but that is okay. It is a newsstand. You know, when you see them in like New York City or Washington, they are very, very cramped for sure. Moving to the back here, you can kind of see this is where the actual part of the police station really starts, but I'm going to save that for the next part of this video. Up here at the main part of the police station, as you can see, the entrance is raised a bit from the ground. I really like this. It gives the very old style of stairs that we haven't really seen in a lot of LEGO modular buildings. The entire building is made to look like an older building, you know, from several decades before, all really nice, non-modern whatsoever, which is really good because that's not what the LEGO City police stations are like, so this one is quite a bit different. And then, of course, off to the side there's the coffee shop and the bakery. But moving back to the middle part here, where we're taking a look at the police station, I already mentioned the stairs leading up to it. On each side, there are 2 different trees, which are not the typical tree parts that we'd see used in LEGO recently. These are different parts that are really cool, and I really like the functionality of them as well. There's also a park bench out here on the front with a police officer sitting. So moving on to the actual police station here, let's talk about the architecture a little. It used a lot of different build techniques to really give this a very nice look. As you can see, there are the 2 big double doors that are all glass. Beside that, there are the 2 big windows on each side. There's some columns going down. Moving on at the top, there is a police, just the word police, doesn't say police station, it's literally just police. A little archway there, and then 2 big lights overhanging. Up here on the second floor, as you can see, there are 3 windows, 2 smaller ones on each side, and then 1 large one in the center, along with a dark blue covered awning that really matches the bottom area. And then up here on the third floor as well, same idea. There are 3 windows, except there is no awnings here, and one of them actually has an in-unit air conditioner, which again I just think is a really nice detail. You'll also be able to see that there is a bird up there with a donut that is clearly stolen from the donut shop. Moving up here, as you can see on the side of the police station, it is covered in the flowers, and I believe there's like a word for this, like veins or a shrub or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head, but just gives a really nice detail look here. I like how it went all the way up. It doesn't look anything too crazy, and I just think really breaks up the color scheme for sure, and it goes nicely with the trees at the front. Next to that, of course, is the donut shop. We've already mentioned it is a very small looking build, but it is very bright colors, and I think contrasts really nicely with the actual police station build here, and I'll show you that in a bit more detail very shortly. Moving up from the newsstand here on the other side of the police station, as you can see, this is what it looks like from the side. Like I said, this green part of the building is an addition to the police station. It is completely built on, although it does look like 2 separate buildings. I'm not sure why LEGO chose to leave so much empty space here, but I guess it does have something to do with the fact that it's already almost 3,000 pieces, so any bigger would have just increased the price of the set. As well, at the very top here, which I really like, we've got this advertisement for soap and stud. These are 2 really cool tiles that are side by side, and what I like about this is that they're actually printed and not stickered pieces. This is actually what the back of this modular building looks like. I do have to say this is one of the prettiest backs of any modular building we've ever seen. They clearly made it so you could have this at the back of the city and it not look weird. I mean, if you look at some of the sets, the backs are just crazy colors, random, they don't make a lot of sense, such as the Ghostbusters HQ. But this one is really not the case, and it does not look too bad. There are some windows on the actual police station there, and then there's some fire escapes and things like that next to the bakery. And of course, there's nothing too special looking about the jail, but overall, they just did a not too bad job here. Continuing up the fire escape here on the donut shop, as you can see, it actually brings us up to a roof where you can see that there's another fire escape up there, as well as one of the old water towers that you see so often in New York City on the top of their building. This is what the top of the modular building looks like. As you can see, there are many different levels, starting with this roof up here where I already mentioned there's the water tower. You can see that the flowers are back here as well, up the second fire escape, onto the main roof of the office where it looks like there's an air conditioning vent and a communications tower. Overall, the roof just has lots of detail to, again, further emphasize the fact that this is an older building and it really focused on the architecture and the design. Of course, like I previously mentioned, there are 3 stories to this building. The first one here is just the roof. That doesn't even count as a story, but that comes off. Then we've got the upper floor of the actual police station, which is actually attached to the roof of the donut shop, and the billboard actually swings up here, so if you do want to set it down flat, you can. We've got the second story here, which is part of the police station and an apartment building, as well as the ground floor here, which is the main part of the build. That has the actual police station, the lobby, the jail cell, as well as the main donut shop. And this part is what we're going to look at first. So here is the main floor of the lobby. I love the stairs again leading up to it, and I say that again because it'll give a bit more detail on the inside. But as you can see, we're going to take a look at the coffee shop first. I'm a big fan about how this coffee shop looks because as you can see at the very back there, we've got this nice set of windows. At the very, very back on the back wall, you can see that there are the different donuts and pastries and everything like that on display. We've got these 2 great lights here. They really lighten it up and make it makes it more appealing, obviously, to the customers. Over here, we've got the main desk where the barista would stand behind, or the donut shop seller. There's some donuts there, some fresh pastries as well. On the very front, you can see that this is what the tiling looks like. It really goes along with the color scheme that's on the outside, which looks really good. And I like that Lego included a few studs there, so minifigures can actually stand on it. As you can see, there's not too much detail in the back of the coffee shop. Just a few pastries, a couple bottles of stuff, as well as a cash register, but nothing too crazy. You know, moving on here into the actual police station itself, this is where a lot of the details of the build do come in. As you can see, when you go through these 2 double doors, you'll be instantly entered into the lobby of the police precinct. Personally, I feel that this lobby and the rest of the station is very undetailed. It reminds me of the Grand Emporium. Like, the exterior is amazing. However, the interior, it's like, where the heck is it? As you can see right at the front here, just like they have in like shows like Chicago PD, for example, there is this huge desk with a really old rotary telephone, which I really like. I think that adds some great details. And then overall, there's just like a stack of papers and everything like that as well. The chief or the secretary would clearly sit at the front there. Moving on to the side here, as you can see, there's just a clock on the wall, an area for a walkie-talkie to be held, and I'm assuming a second walkie-talkie, and that's about it. And then off to the other side here, there is a water cooler, which is a cool detail, and then leading up to the actual stairs. Again, this interior is kind of lacking. Their floors are good, they're good colors and stuff like that, but I think they could have just done more to incorporate maybe like a waiting area or something else, just because there seems to be a lot of empty space and not a ton of detailing. I'll get to the stairs in a minute, but as you can see at the very back corner here, we've actually got a holding cell and a jail cell. The door does open up there for the minifigures to go inside. And then it's super hard to see because of how dark it is, because, you know, the prisoners aren't obviously getting the best light. There is a jail cell here. It's got a toilet here and a prison bed. And the prison bed here does fold up, as you can see. And there's a hole actually in the floor that the minifigures can use to escape. And that actually goes off into the back where you would have seen. The door here also can come up, and you'll be able to see and get a better glimpse the fact that there has been a tunnel created from inside the prison cell to the back, where you would have seen earlier there's a little hole in the foundation. You're probably like, what the heck? This is just a pretty cool build. You can easily stash things down there. Prisoners can easily escape, and it is completely unknowing to any of the police officers that are sitting literally 2 feet away. At the back here, there's also another staircase. As you can see, it's just 3 steps. That does go to the outside into the back area, which we already saw there was an extra door there. But of course, one of the main parts of this lobby that I really like is just the staircase. It's not a classic and, you know, a generic Lego mold. It actually used a lot of pieces and some really cool building techniques to get this staircase. I especially love the triangle tiles that are used as the railing. Overall, just gives it a really nice look. Again, I think the lobby could have been a bit more detailed, but at least the staircase is pretty. And then, of course, like I already said, there's some cool play features here with the prison, and I love the look of the tunnels underneath there, except you theoretically should never get to see it if your police officers and your minifigures are staying locked up like they should. But just in case they don't, that's a cool feature. Putting the second floor back on here, this is what it looks like. As you can see, the staircase moves on up here to the second floor, and it actually continues with a second staircase using all of the same building techniques. This is what the upper floor of the police station looks like anyway. Again, there's a ton of open space here in the center, which is something I'm not too impressed about. Again, that is just something I would have liked to see more of, is just more things in here, more details and things like that. I do appreciate the design here on the side. I like this board. It's like one of the typical ones you'd see in a police station, where there's just a ton of post-it notes. There's string connecting the dots and literally connecting the dots. And then, of course, there are the two matching desks over here. Each one is built the exact same with a lamp. However, each of the items on it is a little bit different. One has an old rotary phone and the other has a typewriter. Each one also has a dark green chair, and then there's a plant in the corner here between the two staircases. On the other side, above the prison, actually, is where the prisoner intake would happen. As you can see, there's a white wall here where the minifigures have to stand as well. They have to stand against this white fabric. And then, as you can see, there's just a camera there. And then above the donut shop here, as you can see, there's a studio apartment. There's a little kitchen over here with a window and a sink looking out onto the city. There's this little rug, no table or anything like that, which is kind of weird. And then, of course, there is a bed right here. It's a nice big double bed. And then off to the side, there's just a little desk with a record player on top. This is the only door actually to get into the studio, which is kind of weird because you have to use the fire escape. But it is just for detail, of course. And I think it looks really nice, and they've got nice round details and stuff like that up here. So overall, it's a pretty decent sized studio apartment. Over here on the third floor, there's lots of details as well. So moving on from the staircase here, which is basically in the very dark shadows, there's a few pictures up here and some more windows. There's another plant off to the side here and a window because this room is the interrogation room. As you can see here, the window is on the other side. There's a door on the way in, and then there's just a table with two chairs. There's a mug there, the two chairs, and of course a little recording device at the very back here to record some of the interrogations that are taking place. On this side, there's also a washroom, which is just something that you don't normally see LEGO included in sets, and I think this is probably one of the only washrooms in my LEGO city. And then off to this side, as you can see, above the jail cell and the secondary building, you can easily pull this off, and you'll see on the inside that there is the evidence lockup. So it's here hidden in the roof. This is a pretty secure looking door, not like some of these other just random wooden doors that you see. This one is definitely a lot more secure, and all the evidence from many different cases are included. And that actually pretty much concludes the tour of this building. I'll now put the roof back on. And overall, I'm pretty excited about it. So here are the 5 minifigures that come included in this set. As you can see from the center, there are 3 police officers, 1 female and 2 male. The one in the center is a much older figure, as you can see by his mustache. He definitely looks like he's the police chief or something like that. Off to the very far right, as you can see, there's the donut shop employee. She's wearing a typical, I guess you would call it, outfit from a donut shop with the stripes, bright colors to match the actual donut shop itself. And she's carrying a pot of coffee, which I think was a really good way for LEGO to design this pot. It's pretty unique looking. I really like it. As you can see, she's got some back printing on her there and the classic 50s hair and headpiece. As you can see, this is the female minifigure here. Her torso is a little bit different than the rest of them, but as you can see, she's got her hair up in a bun and she's holding a coffee cup. She does not have any back printing on her back as well. Moving on here to the police chief. He is, as I said, a different torso. He has a hat on, and he also has some back printing there as well. You're able to see right next to it, there is this police officer here. This actually looks like a young Chase McCain from the LEGO City line. It uses the same head, and obviously he's elite police or a detective now or whatever, but back in these days, looks like he was just a regular constable. And then finally, last but not least, we have got the newspaper man off to the very side. He looks like a typical, newspaper seller with a beret. He's got the knapsack, the shoulder bag right there. He's wearing dark brown pants and a really cool varsity jacket there with a couple different layers. And as you can see, he does have some back printing on this minifigure as well. When I first saw this set, I didn't think it was anything too special. I wasn't overly excited about it, but of course it was a modular building, so I knew I was going to get it. even when I was building it, it was fun, but I just built the Roman Colosseum, and I think that has taken the cake for my favorite Lego set to build for a while. So when I'm building this one, it wasn't anything crazy special. However, overall, I'm pretty impressed with this building. Once I finally got it finished built, I was like, wow, this thing definitely looks amazing. This thing needs to go in my Lego City ASAP. Again, it's just like the Grand Emporium. The exterior looks amazing, so much detail, so much like hard work in the architecture. However, the inside kind of sucks. Like, I personally want to be able to go through this and redo the inside and make it a better police station, especially because I just took my other police station into my city. I think that's what my plan's going to be. Just because while it's really cool and stuff like that, there's nothing too crazy special about it, and I just think it needs a little bit more work to be a modern day police station. Even if they don't want it to be a modern day police station. Like, again, I took my police station out of my city so I could add this one in, and the interior is just not up to my liking. So I think it gives a lot of good customization options. Another thing I would say about this set is I find it kind of weird it wasn't included like a retro police car or something like that. We've seen in the last few modular buildings, at least the Downtown Diner and the Palace Cinema, that old cars were also included in it. I think an old police car would have been really great to include in this model as well. But anyway, thanks so much for checking out this video. I really did hope you enjoyed my review of the new 2021 LEGO Police Station. With almost 3,000 LEGO parts, this was definitely a pretty good build, and don't forget to check out my speed build video, as well as the vlog about where I'm going to put this in my LEGO room. So thanks again so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, and of course subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.